poacher turned gamekeeper. I believe that's the way the line goes, and here's a guy who personifies this. His name is Nathan Fatve. He's an adventure racer with the mostest, but not anymore. He's turned. He's off. He's now going to start, well, I suppose, planning and plotting the demise of his former competitors. Nathan Fatve joins us now, and that's pretty much the case, isn't it, Nathan? You're going to turn tables on the guys you used to run with.
Yeah, that's right. I've crossed to the dark side. I'll be the one who's devising the pain and suffering.
You will, because not only, of course, are you a very you're an excellent exponent of it, but it's going to be in the Tasman district, and that's a place that you call home, and I'm presuming you know the place like the back of your hand, or even better.
Yeah, that's true. No, it is my home ground, and somewhere I've spent a lot of time. So, to be honest, it's more a chance for me to showcase, what is here, and the motivation for me to support GODZone being here in Tasman is largely for the participants to have a great time and a great adventure, and really see a special part of the country.
How difficult was it for you to actually put down, well, everything you require when you pick up and run around? I'm not quite sure what are your tools that you use, but to walk away from adventure racing and go into planning, difficult decision?
Oh, not really, to be honest. I think I'm sort of getting towards the end of my career. It's been a long sort of haul racing. It's been fantastic, but everything comes to an end at some point, and I think I'm sort of getting there myself. And it was an opportunity to sort of phase out or slowly move out of the racing sort of, I guess out of racing, but still be involved somehow and support the sport. So it's a nice transition to be part of.
So when you actually set up a course for an event as big as this, a top secret event as big as this, what's the process you have to go through, Nathan? What do you actually physically, mentally have to do to get this on board?
Oh, in terms of course design, I mean, I've been working closely with Warren, who's designed all the GODZone courses. So it's a collaboration of lots of things, logistics and just permitting and land access issues within any given season. You've got seasonal things to be aware of. Our rivers are going to be flooded, a pass is going to have snow on them. Things like that. Is a forest going to be potentially shut because of fire risk if it's dry? So you're trying to make a course as weatherproof as possible, but you're also trying to showcase the region as best as you can as well. You want people to go to places that are special. So in a lot of ways, it's linking up a giant treasure hunt of gems of adventure sport in any given district or area you're in.
Talking with Nathan Fatve, adventure racer who's now designing the course for GODZone next year. There's a handful of national parks up around that region too. The Department of Conservation, I'm presuming that's who runs it. Are they easy enough to deal with? Do they go hand in hand? What are they like?
Department of Conservation. To be honest, Warren and the GODZone crew are more dealing with that aspect of things. I've more just given some ideas and sort of feedback, the different things of, I guess, local knowledge that I've got of the area. But, generally the councils and the local sort of authorities are supportive of these sort of things in their district. And it's just a matter of making sure that it works for everybody. So no, I'm thinking that, if everyone will come on board, I reckon, for this event, and I think it'll be really special.
Nathan, why did you laugh when I said Doc?
Well, you said Department of Conversation, which...
Did I say conversation?
Yeah, I think...
Oh, come on.
I don't like that. I mean, we're having one of those now, so it's kind of appropriate. But, it depends where you go. Different parts of the country, I guess that institution, as much as I love them, they do have some quite strange views on some things as well, and getting land access for sporting events can be a bit of a mission in some places, but I wouldn't anticipate that up in this region. They're all good folks, and I think are really into something like GODZone.
But what do you bring to this, being a former racer? Can you bring some little twists that maybe other people haven't thought of from your experiences actually out there doing those hard yards? Yeah,
well, I reckon one thing I can bring, and to be fair, so can Warren, who is the owner of the GODZone, because he still races himself, but it's quite unique in that most race directors don't race, or a lot of race directors haven't raced for a long time, or simply haven't actually raced before. And I think what I'll bring is a real empathy from the athletes, sort of representing the athletes, of what it is actually like to be out there racing. And sometimes as a course designer, I think, they have the greatest intentions, but they're not really able to see things through the athlete's eyes, and something that might seem quite sort of fun to a race director, can be quite hideous to someone who's actually racing, and it's day 3 or day 4 and the weather's bad, it's at night time. So I guess for me, it's really important to, with a course design, is to really think about what the athletes are experiencing at any given time of the race. So, how are they going to feel after doing these sort of 2 or 3, 4 stages? What are they going to want to do next? The front teams, how much sleep are they likely to have had, and what's going to be a good stage for them to be sort of moving on to. So I think because I am still racing quite regularly, that gives a perspective to course design that is probably pretty unique, I think.
Are you going to take in that district any more disciplines? Because is there anything else you can add to what you have to do when you go about these God zones?
Yeah, I think, with any event race, wherever you go, there's always unique things in any region. And what we have here is, a typical event race is some sort of water sport, kayaking or rafting, and hiking and mountain biking. When we were down in Wanaka last year, we had the opportunity to go onto some glaciers because that was what was accessible. I think up in this region, what's unique is that we have the Southern Alps, but we've also got the beaches of the Able Tasman, a lot of coastal potential in Golden Bay and Tasman Bay, and obviously the mountains and the rivers and the lakes. The other thing that's here that's quite unique is the caving system. We've got some of the biggest caving systems in the Southern Hemisphere, and there is potentially some scope for that to be incorporated in the race too.
Wow, that just sounds out and out scary, quite frankly, going in with caves and bats. I can't deal with that. What about Team Seagate? Are they going to stick together? Going to find someone to replace your hefty shoes in this event, do you think? Have you talked with your team, Nathan?
Yeah, well, I did talk with them at the end of this year's GODZone and said that I wouldn't be doing next year's one, and that it was my intention to sort of try and help the event from a different side. I don't know if they believe me, but no, we were racing in Spain last month, and it was official then that I wouldn't be doing GODZone, and I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do. They'd love to do the event at some capacity, and they've got some ideas, but they're yet to decide how they're going to go. But I would say at this stage, it's unlikely that there'll be, a Team Seagate that has been racing to win that race for the last 4 years. I think there'll be some variations of the team racing next year, I suspect. Did
you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You're an adventure racer out there. The chances now, because Nathan's no longer running, that elusive win could be yours. And one last thing, Mr. Fa'avai, how did the Eels blow that lead last night against the Queensland Cowboys, North Queensland Cowboys?
I think they just got too excited. You just got to stay composed. That's the important thing.
All about composition and conservation and conversation, right?
That's right.
Good on you, Nathan Fa'avai. Always a pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Go on. Thank you.